everyone. Welcome to a emergency episode of the Rockpile Report. Your host, James Lindemood, joined by the other host, Ryan Faya. Ryan, good afternoon, good evening. How you doing?
I don't know how I'm doing, to be honest with you, because this is the craziest thing that I could have expected to come across, like the Angels table. Everybody's talking about, Zach Neto, Jose Soriano, Reed Detmers. Nobody was saying anything about Logan O'Hoppe, and he's the first one to go. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, oh my goodness. My brain just immediately goes to they are selling everyone. If the guys that we weren't even thinking about were going to get traded or that they're getting traded. I know Silseth has value. I didn't think Logan O'Hoppe had any. So I'm a little surprised he went. But man, the trade number one, it's Silseth and Logan O'Hoppe to the Texas Rangers for Angel Arredondo. Is that how you say his name?
It seems like it, yeah. I mean, we'll figure it out soon when everybody's saying it on TV.
Yeah. So, Ryan, why don't you give a little bit of a rundown of who this gentleman is that the Angels are getting for Silseth and O'Hoppe?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's currently in 19. He's an A-ball right now, looking at his numbers. We're all looking at his numbers and trying to figure out what it is, but they look good. I really like how his prospect savant page looks. It looks like his power numbers are popping off. Like he walks well. He doesn't strike out too much. Like I've seen some people like kind of nitpick at his zone swing percentage and like his ability at swinging in the zone. And like he's 19, he's developing. Like if you look at his page and you're seeing all red except for a couple little things, like at that age you take it. You take your chance on stuff like that.
Yeah, we're looking at a savant page because that's all we really got. I mean, he's a 19-year-old in high A, so that's intriguing. He's a shortstop. From what I am reading, he's going to stick at shortstop, which is big. We don't have a lot of infield depth in the minors. He's a high walk rate, low strikeout rate guy with some pop. Just off rip, I like this. My knee-jerk reaction was I didn't like it because I immediately looked at the Rangers top 30 and I was like, all right, where's this gentleman at, right? And he wasn't there. So I was like, who in the world did the Angels get? And then once I started reading, you sent me the savant page, started looking at it. I'm changing my tune. We flipped a reliever who might be a flash in the pan, even though I'm a Silseth defender. I believe in him. But also Logan O'Hoppe, I think he's a negative. Like the fact that we got anything and a 19-year-old that can turn into something. Ryan, the more I'm looking into this, the more I like this trade.
Yeah, me too. And I'm just looking at his page. I see one thing that's really interesting that I don't really know if I've seen too often or at all, but he came out of indie ball into the Rangers organization. It says that he's an undrafted free agent. So he was playing indie ball in Mexico at 16, and at 16 in indie ball, which is considered professional baseball in some circles, he has a 636 OPS. He had one home run, he had 4 doubles, and again at 16, he's like up like 15 years younger than the average age. So right off the bat, like he's already come into professional baseball with like a much higher level of experience than other 16-year-old kids. And just seeing where he is now, like, and seeing like where his page is at, where his numbers are at, like it just seems like there's like just something a little extra about him that you're not seeing in other guys his age. I still have to watch video, still have to see all that, but knee-jerk reaction, like for Logan O'Hoppe, a guy that it seemed like the organization had no idea what they want to do with anymore, like that's big. They're getting direction for no direction. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I love this. Just the simple fact is that I value defense, especially at catcher. And the fact that we moved on from O'Hoppe, I think signals which direction they're going to go, right? They want good defense at catcher. I think this signals that the Angels are going to sell a lot more. We originally thought like maybe one of the big 3, maybe 2. I think it's open season. You might see some crazy things happening. Ben Joyce might be gone. Bachman might be gone. Zephyr John might be gone. Like they might start flipping tables and sending people in many directions. I will say, like, audio listeners love you to death, but we'll have Angel Arredondo's savant page up here on the visual side. 14.3 walk percentage, 18% strikeout percentage. That is elite as a 19-year-old to show that kind of plate approach. And we have no shortstops really in the minor leagues, except for like I mean, what, Kyron Perez, there's Joshua Lugo, but he's a bit of ways off. So I love this padding of the system for guys that weren't going to be on the next good Angels team. And before people start freaking out, because I know people are very attached, Angel fans are very attached to Logan O'Hoppe. Before people start freaking out, this gentleman, though he's not in the Rangers top 30, I would not be surprised if he would have been, next prospect list go around. A 19-year-old posting these kinds of numbers, I think is eventually going to be in the top 30. He might crack ours next time they update lists.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just seeing his numbers, he doesn't chase, he doesn't really whiff, like he puts the ball in the air, he has power numbers that he definitely could crack the Angels top 30, like just by this trade, like just as a hitter already where he's at, like he's already one of like the best guys in this organization, and that's saying more about the organization than him. No disrespect to him because he looks like a great ball player, but like just where we're at right now, like he's already going to be like one of our better lottery tickets.
I agree, and that's exactly what it is. It's a lottery ticket. A 19-year-old, you try to take as many of these as you can, especially in this deadline. Like get as many lottery tickets because some of them pop, some of them become friends. The Tatis Juniors, right? Remember when the White Sox gave him up? Like no one knew who he was going to become. You take these kinds of lottery tickets when you can, and I love this trade. And I mean, man, we're going to be running with Heineman and Darno as our catchers for the rest of the way. Interesting. I mean, I love Heineman just for his defense, but I mean, whoever we trade, we're signaling we're getting a catcher in return. And I've kind of been saying like, all right, it's maybe like 50% chance that Soriano and Detmers goes, maybe 20% that Neto goes. I think that is way higher now. And I'm pretty sure the Angels are going to bring back catching. And what are your thoughts on that?
My biggest thought on this is like the Angels traded for a guy named Angel. Like, dude, this has to work out. Like, that's the only way. But on top, like going off of what you said, I just wonder who's the next guy to go is. Like, I'm wondering is like, do we see Joe Adele get flipped?
I thought he was going to be the first because it's like, if you're putting percentages on things, he's like 100% to go, right? He has to go. And
I mean, at this point, like, he might, yeah.
They have to trade everyone. I feel like they have to. I think they're going to flip a lot, especially the relievers. I now think Bachman and Zephyr might go. You could easily see packages with Detmers and Bachman, right, to get that top guy. And I know I've seen it a lot on Angels Twitter that they're gunning for the Tampa Bay Rays top prospect. They're gunning for the Brewers top guys. They're gunning for everyone's top prospects. You're not sniffing those guys unless you create a enticing package. So I think you're going to see the relievers, right? A Soriano and a reliever, a Detmers and a reliever, maybe a Neto and a reliever. I think the Angels are going to sell house here.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, going back to guys like Zach Neto, who like Angel fans aren't sure if he's going to get traded, but now looking at it, like he's really the only guy at his position that's on the market. Like he's the guy. Like if you think about all the bats that are available, like Shea Langoliers was one of the better ones. He's done. He's gone, like the Red Sox went and traded for Curtis Mead. He's done. He's gone. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it just seems like everything is falling into the place for the Angels to like really make this trade deadline count for all of the previous trade deadlines they missed.
Yeah, I will say that it does sound like Otto Lopez might be on the market. And I would much rather have Otto Lopez than Zach Neto. Better defense, better strikeout rates, better hitter. But Neto is the more impact, at least potential impact guy. And I think the big market teams would rather have a Neto. And also the Marlins are probably going to be doing the same thing. Give us the world for this guy or else you're not getting him.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this. You have any final thoughts or we're going to just hang it up and wait for the next emergency pod?
My final thoughts, I don't know what else there is to say. Like they went and they traded one of the guys who like a couple of years ago was supposed to be a franchise cornerstone. And we have a bunch more guys who were supposed to be franchise cornerstones. Mm-hmm. And it's like at this point, like you send them all out, you get new tickets, you get new potential cornerstones. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if like we're recording another emergency podcast like an hour from now,
Yeah, we might have a long week. I just actually see this tweet from Jeff Fletcher. Just talked to Mosaic. He thinks Arredondo is better than the publications have rated him. He says he should be in the Angels' top 10 prospects. That is bold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, I will say I know John Mozeliak had an interesting tenure in with the Cardinals, right? One of the best GMs for a long time. Fell out of favor a little bit. We had to remember they had the Cardinals devil magic going for a long time where they just like pumped out these infielders with crazy walk rates and strikeout rates. I trust him. If he's gunning for these guys, I trust it. I wholeheartedly trust it.
Yeah, me too. And the thing that really sold me on him was just seeing that he drafted JJ Weatherholt, and like he obviously, that's a top 10 pick. Like, it's going to be obvious, but sometimes it's not as obvious because people complain about the Angels' top 10 picks. So it's not always obvious. And if you have a guy like this who like really feels confident in the talent that he's scouting, like, just let him go for it.
Yeah, remember Weatherholt was kind of, he fell a little bit. People were concerned about his bat. People were concerned that he maybe couldn't play shortstop and had to play second. And would his bat play? So I trust John Mozeliak. He trusted JJ Weatherholt and picked him. I just trust him. I really do. I give him the keys. He can go crazy. Trade everyone. Fire sell. I'm on board. Let's replenish this farm system.
Yes, sir. This is going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a good weekend.
I agree. All right. We'll wrap it up here before we just turn this into a 30-minute pod. Everyone, thank you so much for the reception on our first video. Don't forget to check out the audio platforms. We do have our show on Spotify. That is linked down below, so check that out. It does help us out. Otherwise, follow Ryan and I on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are also in the description, and we will see you in the next one.